Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this week's Unlocking the Magic of Leadership. Now, this is a continuation in our series all about neurodivergence. And for week 7, we're bringing in another special guest, also a colleague and a friend of mine, Heather Archer, owner of De Jour Training. Now, Heather has gone her entire life with Tourette's, and so I thought who better to talk to us about what Tourette's is, what it means, and how it shows up than somebody who has experienced it throughout their entire life. Now, we are still in our series about neurodivergence in the workplace. And before we jump into this week's video, just a quick reminder, when we're talking about neurodivergence in the workplace, we're talking about adults, we're not talking about children, and we're also talking about individuals that need low support. So a huge thank you to YouTube user in the USA for dropping in a comment and letting me know that the community prefers high support and low support versus high functioning and low functioning. So when we think about support in the workplace, a high support individual would need a lot more assistance than a low support individual when thinking through their day-to-day activities. So we are talking about adults in the workplace that are low support in their day-to-day. All right, now that we have that clarified, let's jump into the video.
Hello, my name is Heather Archer. I am a workshop facilitator. I am a small business owner, a company called Training De Jour. I'm an empty nester, and I have Tourette syndrome. You might have heard about Tourette syndrome. Usually we hear about the verbal outbursts of profanity or inappropriate statements, but Tourette's is not that simple. It's not black or white. It has shades of gray and variations, degrees of severity, just like everything else in life. According to the Mayo Clinic, Tourette syndrome is a disorder that involves repetitive movements or unwanted sounds, tics. They can't be easily controlled. For instance, you might repeatedly blink your eyes, shrug your shoulders, or blurt out unusual or offensive words. For me personally, I have known from my earliest memories that I was different in some way. I have always had a small physical action that I would repeat over and over and over again. My current tic is a head shake. Feels very odd to be doing it intentionally for the camera after having spent so many years hiding and minimizing it. There have been times in the last week that I have done it so much and so aggressively that I have ended up with a screaming headache. My neck muscles tense, the nerves pinched and tight, and I am so sick to my stomach, I cannot eat. One of the main things to know about Tourette's is that it is involuntary. Even when it's causing me pain or discomfort or embarrassment, I cannot stop it. I have spent my entire life managing and masking my tic, waiting for people to not be looking at me so I can get a quick shake, or blending it into another action, or minimizing so that it's almost invisible. But there's always 1 or 2% of my brain actively dedicated to anticipating and hiding my tic. It's exhausting and it's frustrating. Tourette's is involuntary. I would give almost anything to be able to make it stop. I didn't want to do any of the millions of head shakes or shoulder wiggles or lip curls that I have done over my lifetime. I am aware of every single tic I have made in my life. Tourette's is involuntary. If I could have stopped it, I would have stopped it when I was 5 years old and started playing with other kids on the playground. I would have stopped it when I started dating in high school. I would have stopped it when I went to college or got my first job as a corporate trainer in front of an audience. Tourette's is involuntary. We know watching our tics is hard for other people. We know they're distracting. We know they're confusing. We know they're frustrating. But as you're watching us, remember this. For you, they stop when you turn your head and don't see me. For you, they stop when you leave the room. For you, they stop when you go home at night. But for me, they're with me 24 hours a day from before a time I can remember. I don't get to just turn my head and have them magically disappear. I don't get to just leave a room. I don't get to just walk away. They're with me right now. They're with me when I train a room full of people. And they're with me when I go out to dinner with friends. They are part of me, always. And they are involuntary. I have spent a lifetime trying to hide and minimize my tics. For other people, sure, but mostly for myself. I've had moments where my tics magically evaporated. Weeks, sometimes months of living like a person without a tic, and it was glorious. But they always come back. sooner or later, whether I like it or not. So what do you need to know to lead people? Everyone carries burdens of some sort. Some people can hide their burden. Some are blind, or they're hard of hearing. Maybe they're missing a limb or are struggling with an illness, or they have autism or ADHD. Some people can't hide their burden. They've learned to mask and hide in plain sight, or they're carrying a burden from home or a loved one. The big secret is that we bring all of this with us when we come to work. We can't leave certain parts of ourselves at home. It all comes with us, our humanness, everywhere we go. To be human is to be imperfect, to carry burdens and struggles. But it also means that we have unique points of view, different areas of expertise and natural talent, the ability to solve problems differently, to create new and amazing ideas and products, organizations, systems, the list goes on. These differences are what make us stronger as a team, as an organization. So what do you need to do to be a leader of people? You can begin by naming your burden and sharing it with your team. Be the first to show your vulnerability. Encourage others to follow your example. Take the time to learn about their burden and how you and the team can better support them. For team members with Tourette's, that can mean utilizing written communication more than face-to-face or verbal communication, allowing them to mute their mics or cameras during virtual meetings, ignoring, as much as possible, the tics, not letting them disrupt the conversation. There will be links and tools available in the comment section below to help you with this. As a leader, it is critical that you create a space where everyone is welcome, that the vulnerability of being human is supported and protected and even celebrated. Thank you.